Hey, ULTIMATEKAPOW, Liz Benny here. And for those of you that don't know me, hi, this is probably going to be one of the most raw, real, and honest videos and or podcasts you have listened to in a good period of time. I am a happy millionaire. I love my life. And oh my little old Lord, I have been through the ringer. I have been through the valley. I have gotten to the point right now where I feel so passionate about the fact that I have to help you right now. I am no longer waiting for people around me to wake up for me to thrive. And for those of you that know what I mean, you know what it feels like to be the bright light in the room, to be the capable one in the room, to be the entrepreneur that is putting themselves out there, and to love people around us, and to want people to come on the journey with us, and want people to wake up, and want people to see what we see. Yet not everyone is going to step in. Not everyone is going to step up. Not everyone is going to be okay with the process that evolution requires and that growth requires. Because sometimes to evolve means to cut off parts of us that don't work anymore. And that can feel like grief. But if you're anything like me, you're probably an entrepreneur that wants to experience as much of life as humanly possible, spiritually possible, emotionally possible, financially possible, sexually possible, for goodness sake. um, by the way, I don't, yes, I'm very raw, real, and honest. And then that was kind of like a weird kind of segue. But I'm like, like life is for living. Life is for living. And there are some people who are just born different and who know that there is so much more to life than just Groundhog Day or staying the same as it's always been. And for some people listening and watching right now, you are stuck in a relationship either with your spouse, with maybe friends, maybe family members, maybe customers, maybe, I don't know, maybe clients. You're stuck in maybe a relationship where you want to evolve. You know that there's more for you. There's capacity that you can see that there's more for you. You can feel that there's more for you. Yet you've been waiting for people around you to wake up to the level of quote unquote awakeness that you are. And this isn't some woke talk. This is like you've evolved. You've gotten to the point. You've gotten to the point where you are like, hey, I know who I am. I want to 10x my company. I want to 10x my freedom. I want to 10x my experience of life. I just want to like experience as much as possible. And maybe those people around you don't. Maybe they don't want to experience that because maybe that feels like danger to them. Maybe that feels like death to them. And maybe they'd prefer that you didn't want that. Maybe they'd prefer that you didn't fly. Or maybe they want you to fly, but they just want to stay the same. And maybe that feels like death to you because you want the people around you to come with you. And maybe, just maybe, you are scared of them not coming with you if you truly, truly, truly fly. And I know from personal experience how scary that can feel. I have lived in the world of I am too much, I'm too loud, I'm too brilliant, I'm too capable, I'm too spiritually weird, whatever the case may be. And by spiritually weird, I mean spiritually gifted. I'm clairvoyant, I'm an empath, I've got this silly little cool quirks that allow me to assist people in the way that I do in business, in how I transform people's lives. But, sometimes that can feel like too much to the people around me. Heck, sometimes it feels like too much to me, if I'm really, really, really honest. But this particular topic that I want to talk about today is that you're going to need to reach a point where you say, I no longer am waiting for people to wake up in order for me to feel safe to fly. They may never wake up, my friend. The harsh reality here is the person you're waiting on may never wake up. And you can try, you can say, hey, what about this event? Let's go to this event. Let's read this book together. Let's do this. Let's. And you can do your very, very, very best to Take people on the journey with you, especially those that you love so much. But ultimately, you can't do the work for them. My friend, you cannot do the work for them. And if they do not want to evolve because it feels so dangerous to them to change, or maybe just maybe they want you to evolve, and maybe they want you to do the work so that they don't have to, and that can breed resentment and that can breed anger and frustration. But I will say one thing to you right now. The person that you are hurting most, you know where I'm going with this. The person that you are hurting most by not evolving and not showing up and not going all out and not 10xing your company and your movement and your mission and your purpose, and not like taking those bold moves that you know you can take. And maybe if you didn't have these people around you, you would just be playing the game differently. If you would play the game differently, if there was no one around you who, you kind of like want to come with you, if you would play the game differently, then that is some evidence that maybe, just maybe, you are self-abandoning. Maybe, just maybe, you are putting their comfort ahead of your growth, your love, your self-love, your self-expression. Maybe, just maybe, you are trying to manipulate the situation so that they feel comfortable because you feel uncomfortable when they are uncomfortable. That's manipulative, my friend. In a very strange, weird way, you trying to control their experience of life by you being less than yourself is manipulating things so that you feel better in a weird way. But there comes a time when enough is enough. There comes a time where you're going to realize, and hopefully it's today, hopefully you'll realize that you abandoning yourself and you keeping yourself small is hurting you and is internally burning your flame out. Your nervous system is set to thrive, is set to a certain rhythm. And by you lowering your capacity to make other people feel okay and to make other people feel safe creates unsafety within you. It's effectively self-harm in a strange, weird, fucked up way. And I've been there. I know exactly what it feels like to feel like you are too much, you're too loud. I know what it feels like to feel so capable and to look into the eyes of someone who feels the complete opposite about themselves, and then feel like you need to just be quiet, because if you say how incredible you're feeling, it will put more fuel on their fire of self-hate. I know what it feels like. And yes, we can have compassion for the people around us who may not have done the work or who have different life paths to go. Because heck, just because we are, capable in certain regards doesn't make us better than anyone else. It just means that we've got certain gifts, we've got certain expressions of ourselves. And sometimes how we are programmed as entrepreneurs is wildly different to other people, especially neurodivergent entrepreneurs. Hi, I'm one of them. Highly sensitive, neurodivergent, highly capable entrepreneurs. Oh, dang, do we feel it. There comes a time when you outgrow the dynamics that you've had. And your body knows when you've outgrown them. And the longer you spend knowing that you've outgrown the dynamics, but still staying in the old dynamics, the longer you stay in there, the more it hurts you. The hidden cost of waiting for this person to evolve, who might not ever evolve, who might not want to evolve, who might evolve heck in their next lifetime or 20 lifetimes from now. The longer you wait for someone to evolve so that you can fly and you can feel safe, the longer it's hurting you. I know what it feels like to dim your light to help other people feel okay. And I also know what it feels like to dim the light so that you feel okay because they feel okay. I don't want other people around me to feel burnt because of my shine. It sucks. By the same token, it's also not my responsibility to manage every single human being's experience of life at the cost of my own happiness, at the cost of my own joy, at the cost of my own sense of self, sense of freedom, sense of purpose, sense of vision, sense of mission. There came a time when I said, fuck this shit. I am not doing life like this anymore. I had a cancer scare a couple of years ago. I found a lump in my left breast, and it was one of those clarifying moments. And like, I've always been an advocate for life is for freaking living. And I didn't need a cancer scare in order to quote unquote wake up. However, well, because some people do, by the way. However, for me, that was a very clarifying and potent moment where I got to look at my life through a very small focal point. And I got to ask myself what truly matters. And I think of so many people out there managing their own experience of life by virtue of keeping themselves small enough so that they don't hurt other people. They don't hurt their spouse's feelings because, suddenly they're making, millions of freaking dollars because they always knew that they could. But they didn't want their husband, their spouse, their significant other, their sisters, their brothers to feel small because they went and followed their dreams. Dang, I've seen this so often. My friend, when you get to look at your life through the lens of what truly matters to me, which I did when I had the cancer scare, I suddenly went like, I know what matters. What matters is joy. What matters is ease. What matters is peace. What matters is impact. What matters is freedom. Freedom of expression. And me as a manifester, if you're into human design, dang, being a manifester literally means that there will be people who I rub up the wrong way, especially if they haven't done their work, especially if they haven't done their mummy work, their daddy work, or, they look at me being fully expressive and then they haven't allowed themselves to become fully expressive. Therefore, me being fully expressive is abrasive to them. I trigger a lot of people, not because I want to, not because I purposefully go out there and I go, oh, how many people am I going to piss off today? But I just know that me being a manifester is annoying to some people. And believe me, I've tried to manage the process a lot. I've tried to lower my standards of my own income, lower my standards of my own self-expression, lower my standards of how many times I fly throughout the year. And like I have kept myself small to keep other people safe or to help other people feel safe. And at the end of the day, it only ends up really, truly hurting me, literally in my chest, in my heart. And the hidden cost has been my own nervous system health, my own mental health, and sometimes my own physical health, because I've put other people before me, other people's needs before mine, thus abandoning myself. Self-abandonment is something that we do when we haven't fully allowed ourselves to truthfully look at who we are as people. And if you're still listening to this or watching this right now, you're probably a special soul and you probably know it. You've probably walked a great many life paths. You've probably always known that you have something special going on with you. Maybe you've got weird, freaky genius, woo-woo tenacity. Maybe you just are an entrepreneur that knows that it's easy to make money and you just program differently to people, to the normal people. And this isn't saying that you have more value or you're better than anyone else. Heck no, that's not what I'm saying in any way, shape, or form. It's saying that you're not the same. And that's amazing. But why have you self-abandoned yourself so often? And that was an assumption that some of you are. Of course, I know that I have self-abandoned a lot in my life, especially as an entrepreneur. Self-abandoned in the regard that I have monitored who I am. I have not been as loud as I could be on social, not being as opinionated as I could be. I have monitored myself because there's one person actually who listens to this. I'll probably get a message from this person very soon. There's one person, and he's an incredible friend of mine. But I only wanted to put out perfect stuff because, my fear was, well, if he listens to this and he's like, hey, Liz, I know who you are. You could do better than this. And I always felt like, well, I'm only ever going to put perfect work out because I want him to be proud of me. So I would literally not put content out in the world to manage that situation. There are so many of us that don't create from truth because we are so paralyzed by the fear that if we create truth, if we create noise, if we create volume, if we create a movement, if we create millions and millions of dollars in profit, it will hurt someone, so we stop. Thus, hurting yourself. How long are you going to let it happen? Or how long did you let it happen? I'll say this one thing to you. There's such incredible power in radical embodied alignment. And I'm speaking more and more about this in the coming weeks and in the coming months, because I think the word alignment has become so cliche that people it's almost cutesy. It's, oh, I've got an aligned brand. Yep, cool, awesome. I love your colors. But embodied alignment is where it's at. Embodied alignment is where I could say to you that you suck and you don't know shit about what it is that you profess to say that you are an expert in. And you would look at me and go, okay, that's your opinion. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think of you. It matters what you think of you. It doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form. For me, when I became radically, not just aligned, but embodied alignment, it's when things really started to take off for me. The money changed, the energy changed, how people responded to me changed. People just came to my website and downloaded things. People would reach out to me and say, hey, how can I hire you? And I'm like, I don't even know what happened. And I remember a client of mine, Kim, she suddenly made $30,000 one day. And she said, Liz, I haven't even been marketing. I said, bullshit, you have been. You were magnetically marketing because you embodied your truth. So for those of you who have been holding yourself back, who have not been letting yourself fly, who have been waiting for people around you to be okay or wake up or do the work or, heal in order for you to feel safe to fly, I say this to you. You're only hurting yourself. Except I don't know that I fully believe that. You're not only hurting yourself. I would say that you're hurting other people who do not have the good fortune of you serving them. Doesn't matter if you've got an e-com company, a coaching, a consulting company, Heck, a brick and mortar business. It doesn't matter what type of business you have. There are people that when you radically embody your truth and unapologetically show up as all of you, the badass that you are, the incredible soul that you are, the tenacious, incredible human spirit that you are, there are people that need you and who will swarm to you the more that you allow yourself to step in and be your truth. Even if it means that your spouse, even if it means that your best friend, even if it means that your current customers are like, hey, no, we like old you. We like you that cut off parts of you. No. Can you turn the volume down a little bit? And you can say, no, I know who I am. I know who I am. I am going this way. I speak my truth. And I am moving in a way that is true and right and real for me. And I still love you. And you can come with me or not. The choice is yours. But I am going this way. My friend, when you do that, it's almost like your I can just imagine your spirit flying around you, your angels, your guardian angels going, having a royal freaking party going, whee! This is amazing, this is incredible, because you chose you. I know what it feels like to turn your volume down to make other people feel safe. I also know what that feels like in your spirit, in your heart. And it does not feel comfortable. It might initially, it might for a week, it might for a month. But as time goes on, when you continue to choose other people over yourself, my friend, it can start to become very toxic in your own spirit and in your own heart. So I challenge you. I challenge you to have the courage to choose yourself first. I challenge you right now to be okay with the idea that maybe, just maybe, you can 10x your company. Maybe, just maybe, you can 10x your adventure and 10x your fun. And heck, maybe don't even 10x, maybe 100x, for goodness sake. You're you, after all. You can do whatever you want. You're tenacious. You can just bloody well do it, right? For goodness sake, you're amazing. Hey, I also have a gift for you. For those of you who are ready, there's a gift for you over on my website. And you don't need to buy it in any way, shape, or form. People in the future will be buying it. There's a free gift for you right now. It's on lizbenny.com. You'll be able to find it in the show notes or somewhere around this video or this audio. And it's my book. You can grab it for free, for absolute free. And just for those of you that are listening right now as well, when you grab it for free, on the thank you page, there is a private podcast for you to watch. It's probably the most raw, real, and honest video you will see. It's an interview where I've been interviewed about the behind the scenes of my life. It's amazing. It's incredible. I talk about buttholes, talk about pearls, and that's another gift for you as well. So there's a lot of value there for you. Well, I guess it's only true value if it changes your life. So I truly hope that you go over there, you grab the free copy of the book, and you check out that podcast over there. And I truly, truly, truly hope in my heart of hearts that it changes your life positively, my dear friend. I love you. You're incredible. You're amazing. And I will see you in the next episode.